Hello, testing? Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be better. Thank you for letting me know. I don't think they can see her, but she's still going in. Let's see, I think we should be live again. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that fixed it. If not, I don't really know what else to do. But, yeah. Basically, I was running... So, I've gotten into Heroes of the Storm recently, and the BattleNet program was running in the background and probably sucking up a shit ton of my memory. So, yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Swags. Okay,
alright, so we're getting back to dessert.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully I wasn't dropping major frames where shit was cutting in and out, but we're gonna start with dessert. We're gonna make a coconut pie. We're using a frozen, pre-made pie shell, primarily, hey, what's up, D-Rec? Primarily because we want, for ease, and making real pie crust it's doable, but it's a pain in my ass and I don't really want to deal with it.
Well, the rest of this recipe is super easy, so to like add on a homemade pie crust just kind of defeats the purpose of the rest of the recipe.
Indeed. And I mean, while I prefer kind of a traditional pie crust, you could absolutely substitute in a like a graham cracker or something like that.
An Oreo crust. Pretzel crust. There's lots of different crusts that you can make with this. Which we could do like a crust face off.
Yes.
Oreo crust would be good. It'd be like a...
Hi, Turtle.
Or like a... What's the other one? Mounds.
Yeah. Okay, so the rest of the ingredients are pretty basic for this. We've got really just... So I melted a...
stick of butter in the mug.
No, thank you. So we got a stick of butter in the mug.
There's some sugar and honey.
Yeah, so we're gonna just use a nice granulated sugar, some honey,
3 eggs,
a couple of eggs, and coconut flakes. So ideally, so this is just some regular coconut, so organic fine shredded coconut. Ideally, we wanted to find sweetened coconut, since this is going in a pie. Hey, what's up, Wanda? How are you? However, because we shop at the hippie central place, it is, it's hard to find. So we're just gonna substitute in a little bit of the honey and a little bit of extra sugar to kind of bring back the sweetness factor.
Vinegar.
We're gonna have a little bit of vinegar. The purpose of the vinegar is not for flavoring in any way. It is purely to help the inside of the pie, really help it congeal and coagulate a bit.
The eggs.
Yeah, so there's eggs in there, and it's gonna help it kind of become a little bit more firm. If you weren't to use it, it would become a little bit more runny, and instead of being like a nice clean pie texture, it would end up being more of a pudding. So it would be kind of runny. If you want to cut a piece and take it out, it would just kind of like be a little bit oozy, so.
And vanilla and salt.
And then vanilla and salt. Okay. So, the beauty of this pie is everything just goes right into one big bowl. You mix it all together, throw it in that pie crust, put it in the oven, and you just wait till it's done. Thank you. So, I'm just gonna use a nice big stainless bowl and a hand whisk. You could use a more fancy, stand-up mixer or even a hand mixer, but I really don't think that's necessary for this. Oh, Turtle, did you see too? Even though I'm wearing my apron, I'm wearing my Turtles shirt. Okay, so I need the full stick of butter. Goes right in. Fully melted.
We let that sit out for a little while on our counter just to make it faster to melt.
Okay, and then a cup and a half of sugar, right?
Yeah, and then if you want to
Yeah, I'll add more. Look, Mark, I got like babushkas for my...
Babushka, the nesting dolls.
Yeah, the Russian nesting dolls. Is this a full cup, right?
No, it says on the inside. No, that's 3/4. See?
Where's the full cup? Is it her
It's
face?
the head, yeah.
Okay.
So like he was saying with the vinegar, it's going to help the eggs tighten up a little bit. And when you poach eggs, you do the same thing. You put a little bit of vinegar in the water, and that helps the egg whites like tighten up around the yolk a little bit. Like it forms a tighter structure. And that's the purpose of what we're doing here with the vinegar.
Okay. Mix that together a little bit. Get that started. Okay, and then how many eggs? 3?
Yep.
Okay, so we've got 3 eggs. Oh, we got 3 total eggs. All in there now.
But you've also left those out to get up to room temperature for a little while. That's going to help them mix in.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to be putting cold ingredients into room temperature ingredients. Remember how we just melted that butter? If we added really cold eggs right into that, the butter would start to harden up a little bit and potentially separate, and we don't want that.
Do you want to put the vinegar in now?
Yeah. How much? Teaspoon?
Yeah. Do you want the measurement?
Yeah, I probably should, just to be safe. So I usually don't like to measure things, but with baking, it is kind of important to
We
be...
also have Russian nesting dolls.
Yeah, look at that. We got Russian, all sorts of Russian shit. Full teaspoon, you said?
Teaspoon, yeah.
That's a tablespoon.
Yeah, that's different.
Where's my teaspoon?
So it's a teaspoon of vinegar. We're using apple cider vinegar just because it has like a little bit of flavor but very mild, so it'll go well with the other ingredients and perform the same function.
I was just about to say or boobs, and you typed it already.
You're including the salt while I try to get this open, or do you want to open this?
You go.
Okay.
How much salt?
Whatever you think.
Just a pinch of salt. How much coconut?
1 cup.
1 cup? That's it.
Well, if you want more, you can put in more. And then, did you get the honey? There's the honey.
Cup of coconut. Nice full cup. Maybe just a little bit more.
So again, those are shredded coconut flakes. And that's honey. And I can't. We got a new bottle of vanilla today, which I'm having issues with. He's going to take a big knife to it, which I would not recommend doing.
Yeah, don't do this.
Do you want a little knife?
Sure.
Here's the funky knife. What's this? The
Tournay knife.
Tournay knife. You can
Okay.
make fancy potatoes with that.
Yeah. Pants shorts. No, these. See, look. My knee is right here. These are like barely over my knee. I even rolled them up 1 extra just for you, Wanda. Because you called me out for looking like I had goddamn capris last time.
It's okay. I love him.
How much vanilla?
Whatever you want. Calls for a teaspoon, but yeah, vanilla is something that is. We always use more than the recipe calls for.
Yeah, I really like vanilla. Okay.
He often has to explain himself. That's alright, I do too. I put the honey over.
No. Where?
Right there.
Okay. I'm lost. Oh,
That's what I gave the
spoon
spoon for, yeah. Oh.
What? It just had some vanilla on it. It's fine. There's like 2 tablespoons of honey.
He does have some short shorts.
Yeah, like what I actually play soccer in are way too much chicken leg exposed for... Is that everything?
Unless you want to add any extra sweetening.
I already added extra
Then that's
sugar.
it.
Okay. So that's
everything.
everything.
Mix it together.
I'll put this back under here so
Yeah.
you can kind of see. It's kind of going to be a...
It's like a custard almost.
Yeah. Oh, I will not wear those short shorts on stream. They are for physical activity only.
For my enjoyment. I like
Yeah,
the short
she
shorts.
likes... Oh, and I have a bathing suit that she
Yeah.
talked me into getting that's way too short.
We're in Vegas. I've been drinking.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to switch from a whisk over to a spatula to make sure I get all of this goodness out of there.
Oh yes, better than a Speedo.
Oh yeah, no, I ain't doing that. So we've got our pie shell. Actually, I might need to move this back just a little bit.
You just scoop everything on in there. Hey, that's what happens with marriage. You get to call out some preferences. It goes both ways. Yes, and an apron. Although the apron you can see is sitting back here. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I found my plain apron. Okay, you just kind of give it a little tap. That'll get some of the air bubbles out of it, and then should we put this on a sheet pan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could put it right in like this, but if it's going to spill over at all, that's dangerous. Plus, it's kind of pliable, so it's good to put it just on a small sheet pan so it's got a nice sturdy surface to be under.
Make it easier to get in and out of the oven, and just if anything bubbles over.
Yeah, it'll catch it, and it makes it easier to rotate.
So we have a 350-degree oven. The rack appears to be a little bit high, so we're going to move that down.
Backwards.
Oh, it's backwards. Oh, okay. So we're flipping that around, but we will be getting it in the oven in just a moment. It should take probably about 45 minutes to finish cooking, but we will probably rotate it about halfway through, and we're going to keep an eye on it while it's cooking. You don't want to open the oven too many times because it'll release heat when you do that. But well, you'll be watching us while we keep an eye on it. So probably at about 20 or 25 minutes we will check it.
Oh yeah, Wanda is a Giants fan. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Fuck that. Yeah. See, and then little Herdez, he lives in LA, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Either he lives in LA or no, he lives in Phoenix, but he lived in LA.
Yeah.
He's a big LA Kings and Dodgers fan.
Nice.
And I think he's a Lakers fan too.
Yes, Dodgers are baseball.
Yes. Stickball. Sports ball.
Hey, we got like half the season left.
So yeah, you could see how easy that pie was. It is even something as basic as Turtle could do. So yeah, do it, Turtle. I encourage you. Yeah, she got so excited. So next, why don't we do the cocktail? Swags always is a fan of cocktails.
Cocktails. All right. Sneak over here then.
Yeah, I'll try and.
And
Is it still on the board?
yeah, the recipe is now, yeah. So we're making another bourbon cocktail tonight.
Okay. We have visual aids again.
Yes. You're a little too close.
I know, but I'm waiting for you to get out of the way.
Okay, sorry.
So, Mrs. Biscotti just went ahead and made up her own. This is a cherry bourbon fizz, she's calling it. So we were at the market today and the cherries looked really good, so she decided to go with some cherries. So she chopped a few up already. She's gonna have some honey, some lemon juice, some bourbon, and some sparkling water. This quantity here is enough for 2 drinks, and then probably hard to see, but in this area here, there's kind of like a ratio. There we go. So if you want to increase, essentially there's your parts that you would use, and of course, lots of nice ice.
So first I've got, again, my mason jar, and I'm going to pour in about 1 ounce of honey. And to that, I already, to that I've already juiced 1 large lemon, which is about 2 ounces of lemon juice. I'm going to pour that in. And I quartered up a bunch of cherries, which I'll show you how I did that. So we've got some fresh whole cherries here, and let's see. Okay, there. Shit. I just went by kind of going around the pit, almost like you would with an avocado, and then twist it to get half of it off, which won't have the pit. Cut it in half again, and then you can pull the pit out more easily that way, and then you'll just cut it into quarters. So that's what I did with 5 cherries to get that ready. I'm going to tumble all of that into the honey and lemon juice. And we don't have a fancy muddler, so I'm just going to use a wooden spoon in the mason jar and kind of try to smash that in a little bit, break up the cherries a little. If you do have a muddler, I would use that because it's a little bit flatter, but a wooden spoon will work just as well.
Something that you could actually use is a juicer like this. Problem with it is with the mason jar she's using, it's so deep that this wouldn't do much. Yeah,
well, when I put in the ice right now too, that's going to help break it up a little bit. So I've got some ice that I already pulled out. I'm now going to add 4 ounces of bourbon, and again, I've got the side here so I can eyeball that.
A lot of bourbon.
2 drinks.
Yeah.
It's got the cherries in it too. Thank you. So now I'm going to put several ice cubes in here because I'm going to shake it up. And again, those ice cubes are going to help break up the cherries. There's the honey. Maybe a couple glasses and sparkling water. You want to shake it pretty vigorously because again, you want to break up the cherry juice in there and mix up the honey really well. So I'm going to add a couple ice cubes to our glasses here. And I use the flat top here to help strain this over the ice. And then we've got some sparkling soda, and I'm just gonna top this off with the soda to just give it a little bit of fizz. And it's got that nice like pink orange texture because we use the red Bing cherries, but you can use whatever cherries are in the market. And then we've got some whole cherries here if you wanted to, garnish with that. Just pop them in. It looks like we're trying to take care of some of the sun issues, so thank you for bearing with us with that. There you go. And since we've got the extra quartered cherry here, I'm gonna drop those in so we can get some extra little bites as we eat it. We're drinking it rather. Is that better?
No. That didn't do anything. Sorry. I thought it was a good idea. It wasn't. Trying to think of what else. Take a picture of that.
I will.
Okay. So, yeah, sorry about the... Yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, you know what would work? We should do... So when we lived in LA, our very first place together was it was in the valley, so it was hot as shit. And we were up in the 3rd story of an apartment building. And the sun came blazing in and hot air rises, so we were up, the 3rd floor was the top floor. It was so fucking hot up there, and our AC would freeze over. We had this big sliding glass door that, I think it faced west, didn't it?
I don't know.
Because I think we got, we just got killed by the sun. So on all that side of our apartment, we put up, I think the first layer was, I don't remember which.
Tinfoil.
Yeah, tinfoil. So I'm sure the people who lived in the apartment building across from us just loved that. It's just fucking bouncing off that and going straight into their house. Now, and then we put a layer of brown paper bags on top of the foil, so the foil didn't absorb all the heat and bring it in. It was the most ghetto fabulous.
They thought that we were like apocalypse, afraid people or whatever. Had some stash of astronaut ice cream.
No, Wanda, I'm trying to make it better for you. I appreciate knowing the issues that we're having with the stream.
Yeah, we need to. It's just brutal sun right now.
Yeah.
There's and the clouds are making it worse. I looked in the eclipse.
Yeah, because this is actually west for our house, and so the sun is, it's beginning to set. We've probably got about 2.5 hours of sunlight left, and it's just ridiculous right now. I tend to wait a little bit later to stream, but I'm hungry, so I wanted to start. Do you right? I spit out that cherry pit. He said I just spit out the cleanest pit he's ever seen. Lil H, take notes. Learn to please your women. Yeah, I got good tongue work. Okay, So,
now for dinner time.
yes, we're gonna make some dinner. So again, I apologize last night for not streaming.
Oh, I'm sorry, can I chime in? So these cherries are good cherries because they were just like soaked in bourbon and goodness, so eat them. So I'm not gonna throw these away. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry about missing Stir Friday last night. We've had some stuff we're working through, and I had a pretty crappy week at work, so we went out to dinner last night instead. And so we're gonna do stir fry today. I really enjoy using the wok. You guys seem to enjoy watching the wok, so yeah. We are going to be doing a dish called Dan Dan noodles, and we're going to make a vegan version. Actually, there's no animal byproducts at all, and I can show you where you could substitute in some carnivorous areas if you would like.
Yeah, pretty easily.
Yeah, totally easy to substitute stuff in if you want to make this with, you know, some chicken or some beef or some veal, whatever, some pork. But we were at our hippie market, and sure enough, we were able to find kind of a traditional rice noodle in the shape of a pad thai noodle. So we're going to be using this tonight. Again, this is a rice noodle, so it's actually gluten-free, whereas most pasta has flour in it, so it is not gluten-free, so that's good for anyone who has those issues. So within this dish, we are going to be using mushrooms as our kind of substitute for the meat part. So where you see me using those mushrooms, you could absolutely substitute in probably a ground product, so like ground beef, ground veal, ground pork, something like that. You don't want big chunks in this. The noodles are going to be kind of that nice piece running through it, and everything else is going to be chopped up pretty finely. The main ingredients, like I said, it's going to be the mushrooms for that kind of meaty consistency and that nice flavor, really. And then we're going to have some celery, some green onions, and then kind of a nice mix of a sauce for it that's going to be peanut based to give it some thickness to it. I tend to really like working with, you know, soy sauce, sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, those flavors. But we're going to be adding in some peanut to this to allow it to kind of take on a thicker sauce. And when we cook it, it's going to really stick to everything that we make.
Also just makes it a little more satisfying with the vegan factor.
So we're going to be using a mix of just white button mushrooms. And then these little guys, very similar shape, but a brown version. These are often called baby bella for essentially miniature portobello mushrooms. Yeah, cremini, there's a lot of different names.
The reason we went for the mix was really also ease. We wanted 9 ounces of mushrooms. The white button we got in an 8-ounce package, and then the cremini came loose, so we just got an extra ounce of these. So that's why we got that mix. We also just like the extra flavor and, you know, mix that adds.
So I'm going to start just by chopping them in half to give me a flat surface to work with. We want this to be pretty fine of a chop. So this allows me to have a nice flat texture to give me some sturdy. So you don't necessarily want to be chopping on a surface that's rolling around.
And we're chopping them pretty fine to get a texture that's almost like ground meat. Mushrooms and eggplant are kind of the two go-to vegetables for meat substitutes for vegetarians and vegans.
Yeah, because I mean, you could use a tofu-based, you know, soy-based product as well, but I really like mushrooms. Mm-hmm. They're quite good.
Well, there's both of those options just have that earthy kind of umami flavor.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
they
why
really,
they're substitute.
because they are kind of a, what's the right word? Kind of a spongy material, they really absorb the flavors you're cooking with really well, and they provide a lot of natural moisture to the dish. So all
And they
good
react
things.
very similar to grilled.
Yeah. Okay, so we got our nice half dice.
Yes, this is a shroom stream today.
Try to see if I can get to a place where you guys can see it. We're just gonna chop quickly, and then you get the, I mean, you know, a real nice fine. Here, I'll come up here so you can see. You know, real thin slice on it. And then I might even take another pass over these.
Yeah, this is only 9 ounces of mushrooms. Probably threw the receipt away.
Yeah.
The 8-ounce package was what, probably about $3 or $4.
Yeah, like $3.
Yeah. So this is probably about $3.50 for the mushrooms. And again, we shop at like the fancy organic market, so you could probably get it down to about $2 to $2.50. And this is the bulk of our recipe. Most of the other stuff is like pantry ingredients. We've got some celery, which we're going to use in the stock that we're making tonight as well.
And celery is crazy cheap.
Yeah. And you can use it in a lot of other stuff. Yeah, mushrooms are just
Hey.
Yeah, I know.
Quiet. Sorry if that's crazy loud.
Hush. It's okay.
She's angry.
Mushrooms are deceptive because they look so expensive per pound, but like, look how much you get with just, this is like half a pound of mushrooms. So,
Yeah, they're very light, airy.
something to keep in mind when you're in the produce section in general. It can be very confusing when comparing product to product. Yeah, it's like it's good when you learn the value of things. What is really a good value?
Slowing down. I did some gardening this morning, so my hands are already tired. Almost there. Yes, entertainment. As I shall.
We're learning what we should do before stream and on stream.
I like this though because it's like, but it's like fast chopping. People I think like to see that. I don't know.
We should make bets. How long is it gonna take?
Yeah. All right.
So there's the mushrooms.
Hi.
Kimbo's been very hyper today.
Yeah, she is fired up. All right. So, got our nice bowl of very finely chopped mushrooms.
On an open flame, like
But, like,
camping?
yeah, I don't really know what you mean. Quiet. All right, what else goes in here? The green onion.
Celery and the scallion.
Oh, Jesus. All right, I'm gonna use like those. Yeah. Doofus. So I'm just gonna make some vertical slits in this. All right. I'll do this in 2 batches to make sure we chop it nice.
Yeah. And again, you want this finely chopped. Try to get everything pretty round texture.
Yeah, so you can see this is making like nice fine pieces.
Yeah, one day we will have the kitchen of our dreams, but
Yeah.
we don't have the kitchen of our dreams.
It's still a very nice kitchen.
It is.
It's, there's plenty of things we would change in it if we could.
So as you can see, we are storing things in our favorite mason jars. I just poured all the extra coconut in here. Just keep everything nice and fresh. Probably put the sugar to a smaller one tonight. There was the like, what was it, the yukaku?
Oh yeah.
It was like charcoal flame, and you cooked all your food on top of that. But we went to a couple times. But you cook the food yourself.
Yeah.
I want to go to Japan purely for those restaurants, though, where they do all the
Thank you,
cooking.
Swags.
What do you need for that?
Huh?
In Japan, the restaurants where they cook everything over the coals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's still.
That's only 25 minutes.
Yeah. So we're about halfway through the cooking of the pie. It's about 25 minutes in. It's golden on top, but still very loose. So we're flipping it around. We're going to set it for about another 20 minutes and check it then.
Should I just chop all of them? I think?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, either that or we can put the rest in with the stock.
I'll chop.
Yeah, we're both more used to gas than electric. The problem with electric is you can't control the heat as easily. What's the other one? The induction is like the fancy one, but I don't think I could get used to that. I think I'd prefer gas over induction.
Yeah. Gas is just nice because it really allows you to control a little bit more. And I like being able to see the flame that I'm working with.
Yeah, I mean, you figure with an electric stove, it gets up to that heat, and then if you try to turn it down, it's still at that heat. So you have to, ideally, if you're like cooking a bunch of things, you have to have different burners at different heats and like move stuff around. Whereas with gas, you can just turn the flame down and it goes down. Induction stoves, the nice thing is you can't burn yourself on the actual stovetop. And water boils almost instantly. But other than that, I don't really see the advantage.
That's all of our prep, right?
Other than the sauce.
Right, yeah, but I mean, like chopping wise.
There's garlic and ginger.
Right. So we got some garlic that we're going to use. There. Hey, what's up, Kova? Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, just trying to do something different. I'm trash at playing video games, but I'm a decent chef, so, you know, figured might as well bring some knowledge to the people. Hopefully you guys learn something, or just at least enjoy hanging, watching, listening. Oh, Mrs. Biscotti will finish her cocktail. She could have like 3 in the time it takes me to drink this one.
Thank you.
What?
That's true. Come on. Looks like you see a blue.
Well, I'm a light drinker, so yeah.
And I'm just cutting off the rinds for the ginger today because we actually are going to finally use our stock bag this evening. And I'm going to toss in these rinds tonight into our stock mix. So for those of you who have not heard of our stock bag, we will use scraps of like the celery or carrots or onions or ginger or parsley, and we keep it in a Ziploc bag that we keep in our freezer, and we let it accumulate, and it's now finally full. And we're going to put it in our slow cooker tonight with some water and let everything cook overnight to make some vegetable stock. When we did eat meat, we would do the same thing and put roasted chicken bones in with the same stock bag. So if we bought like one of the roasted chickens from the market and ate that, we would, pick off the meat from that and put the bones in the bag. Or if we roasted chicken breasts or legs or whatever, we would peel the meat off of that and set the bones aside, like not eat off of it, but actually pick the meat off first and set the bones in the bag aside. So we'll kind of explain the process to you as we make the stock, but okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So Anaconda, I'm not sure if you're still here, but Twitch opened up their creative channel a while ago and kicked that off with various, hey, what's up, Bensi? Thanks for hanging out. Various creative outlets. It is dominated more so by traditional art streams, painting, calligraphy, pottery. But recently they allowed food, culinary arts to be a part of that. And they actually introduced that with a long stream of running some old Julia Child replays. French Chef and all sorts of different stuff. Some Jacques Pepin and all those different things. Anyways, it is now allowed on the creative stream. I was a chef in a past life, so I thought I would try and provide some content for that. So yeah, we've only been streaming for maybe a month or so and somewhat inconsistently, but yeah, that's kind of how it came to be.
And when that's how we connected over cooking together, is how kind of we got together. I'm in school for nutrition right now, so food has been a big part of my life. So and growing up for you too.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of how you got into culinary school initially was.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the kitchen with my mom. She made dinner every night. I was an only child, so it was just a big part of my childhood was being in a kitchen. So I always wanted to be a chef. Went to culinary school and after college, and decided to do that for a few years. Ultimately decided to leave cooking professionally, but yeah. Oh, thanks. My knife skills are a little bit off right now, but they can be good when I need them to be. So we want this chopped up pretty finely, more so than we would normally do.
Do you want to put all of that in the jar like we make the sauce?
No, let's do a jar. Okay. Oh, and also, again, I'm not sure if you're still in here, but if you do !menu, that will give you the command of what. I try and update that every time of what we're making. We tend to do a cocktail, a dessert, and an entree. Not every time, but we do try to.
He can teach you some like basics of knife skills, but like that's I will use him for his knife skills sometimes because I just am slow. But there are some good basics to learn of just being safe, more than anything else.
Yeah. What else goes in here? Ginger?
Yeah, which I peeled for you.
Cool. So yeah, we just went ahead and peeled this ginger. Show it up here. The ways you can peel ginger, you can use the spoon method, which really only removes that outer core, which is great. As Mrs. Biscotti said, we used a knife tonight to try and peel off some. It makes it a little more chunky, but it's gonna go in with our stock, so we're happy to have it like that.
Yeah, it's faster, and we're gonna get that ginger flavor in the stock that we're making tonight, so it just kind of saves you a little bit of time tonight.
And for anybody new that is enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that follow button. It will let you know when we will be doing streams. We try and do them like one night during the week. We try and do every Friday, and then one night on the weekend. We were a little bit inconsistent this week. I do travel for work a decent amount, unfortunately, so.
And for the knife skills stuff too, with me being in school, this is kind of stuff that I'm learning right now, which it's funny to, be living with him. It's like, oh, this is what all repetition for him. But I can maybe start posting some pictures of the stuff that I'm learning in my books, or, like find a way to kind of share some of those tutorials, so to speak. That might be helpful to people.
Yeah, I do appreciate that follow. Thank you. Oh, hello, Matthew, and hello, Jane. Okay, so now we've got some nice ginger and some garlic in this mason jar. So some nice aromatics already happening. We're gonna use some rice vinegar. This works really well when pairing with various Asian cuisines. It's got a really nice taste to it. It's not as strong. It's not super distilled. I really enjoy it. You could substitute in something like a red wine vinegar. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as like a balsamic. That's going to have a very different flavor to it. So yeah.
The apple cider vinegar that we used earlier too would work okay.
Yeah, I definitely prefer this. But
yeah, but it just, if you don't happen to have it, I think pantry building is one of the big steps of cooking.
Yeah.
And so as you do it, just kind of do it step by step. And you definitely will learn your flavors as you do that. But, if an extra $5 or $6 when you're grocery shopping isn't what you want to add on, think of other things that you already have that you can substitute with.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea for a stream, is we could do kind of like your basic pantry list, kind of, and then divulge a little bit more if your budget's a little bit higher and you want to have, 4 different vinegars on hand and, multiple different kinds of oil and all these different things, but also kind of back that up a little bit to a more simplistic version. And thank you, thanks Mark, and then thank you the Fancy Fox for your follows as well. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and participating in chat and helping to grow the love in the kitchen. But yeah, I think that's actually a good idea. Maybe we will do that one day. I'll post it on Twitter as well to kind of inform you guys on how to build a pantry, because it is kind of expensive at first. But once you get that first payment out of the way, it opens up your doors to so many more recipes that you can be working with. And then it cuts down on your actual food costs when you go to the market. Mm-hmm. So kind of like what we were saying earlier today when we went to the store, we only had to get the mushrooms, the celery, the green onions, some garlic, the stuff we were going to be working with that night, because we already had the vinegar, the soy sauce, all these other ingredients in our pantry. And you're only using anywhere from half a teaspoon to maybe a couple of tablespoons at a time. So a bottle like this is gonna last you many, many meals. So while yes, it might be anywhere from $7 to $15 to per bottle that you're buying, it is an expensive purchase. It really does help when it comes to opening up your doors to having a lot of different things that you can cook in your kitchen.
Yeah, we can do some Periscope grocery shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, show you guys. So, and price compare, show what makes sense. We've had the conversation in here before about, the different kinds of olive oil, the extra virgin versus first pressed, and all the different techniques and, why one might be more expensive versus another. So yeah, we could find a way to kind of bring that content to you. And hello, Drunk Durs and Nick. Everyone's hanging out. This is great. Okay, how much? I'm an eyeball, but...
Yeah, 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons? All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we've got our sambal. So that was the rice wine vinegar, and we've talked about before, we like this liquid aminos, a little less sodium, a little more natural than a traditional soy sauce. We're going to use our sambal.
1 to 2 tablespoons.
Okay. And again, the sambal, if you like sriracha, this is...
You will love sambal.
Yeah. This is basically... Where's the front? There we go. You can see it's a similar color to it, but it has flakes of garlic in it, as well as the seeds from the sriracha peppers. And it's a much chunkier version, so it's got a lot of heat to it. It's kind of like its dirty cousin.
Outdoors, that sounds really good, even though we don't eat meat.
Oh, that does sound good. How much of this?
1 to 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
Yes, today is half Christmas.
There's a delay. Oh, yes.
That's what I'm excited about. When it calls for a little bit of sugar, you can use honey instead if you want.
Sure.
Salt too. So we're adding a little bit of honey also, because we like honey. Make it a little bit sweet and crispy. Yeah.
Make it a mess. I'm just gonna wash my hands.
I keep putting the wrong lid on everything tonight. Where's the lid?
I don't know. You gave it to me. Is that it?
This is the problem with using mason jars for everything, is you think the mason jar lid is the lid for everything else.
Yes, I can absolutely do a pancake stream. Maybe we do a whole breakfast stream. I can do pancakes, waffles. I know some people even have some tough times with eggs, scrambled eggs over easy eggs, things like that. We could absolutely do that. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, anything? Oh, salt. We'll do a pinch of salt.
And our stir Saturday is like a mushroom, spicy mushroom and peanut stir fry with noodles. Yeah, we got the pie in the oven already.
Yup.
Got the pie.
Alright, so that makes us a nice sauce that we're going to be using and cooking down a little bit within our stir fry.
It has been a beautiful time.
Yeah, and I even attempted to block out some of the light. Wanda was complaining and shit talking, so I hung up some paper.
Be nice. She was helping.
I know, she's not here though, so I can't
Oh.
jabber. Have I ever made chocolate mousse? Do you add egg or no? I've made it both ways, actually. There's versions that you can do either way. Typically, if you're gonna add egg to it, you only use egg whites. You wouldn't use the full egg. But yes, I know, right, Chartle? But yeah, I tried to cover it up a little bit, and it's still, the sun is just relentless. But we're at the point where we can turn to the other side of the kitchen, so the light should get better. So bear with me.
Let me cut this in half real quick, just to.
There we go. Pour it a little bit. And you can even see Doge a little bit. Take a little camera. Don't step on the cord, please. Thank you. Okay. Block this so you don't do that. Oh shit. Yeah, alright. A little bit bigger. Okay. So yeah, that was, I think that was actually Wanda's idea. We have a little turntable on top of our fridge now. Yes, thank you. Hi. Oh, it's awesome having a working computer. It's great. I mean, it's my company's computer, so I can't really say that, yeah, that should be. I took it and put it over there. Okay. All right, so our pie is about to be.
What is under here? Nothing's under there.
All right, so our pie is getting close. You can see, but it's still got a little jiggle to it, and yeah, I'm gonna let it go for a few more minutes. Plus, the crust is still not totally golden brown yet. It's still a little bit on that yellowish side, so we'll let it go for a few more minutes, but keep a closer eye on it. Now that I'm on this side of the kitchen anyway, it'll be easier to do that. Thanks, Jane. Yeah, it was a really simple pie too. We just had like one big bowl that we used and everything went into it. Mix it up, put it in a pre-made pie tin, just for simplicity's sake. Just saying,
maybe something.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, baked goods are a necessity. So I'm gonna try and slow down just a little bit because I made the mistake of forgetting to pre-cook my noodles. So kind of as this water comes up to a boil, I'll start the stir fry. So hopefully we can pull the noodles out and put them right into the wok and cook everything together. Turtle, how have you never had key lime pie and you live in Florida? That makes no sense. Or no, you live in North Carolina, but you've been to Florida. That's right. Never mind. Sorry. My bad. Still, as a Southerner, you should have had some key pie in your life. Alright, so we're going to start by frying up these mushrooms. Let's see here, try and get a better view of what's going on in the pan. Maybe like that. Yeah. And we're going to actually be using some peanut oil. This has a really nice high smoke point. It's often used in a lot of different Asian cuisines. I'm gonna mix in just a little bit of grapeseed oil as well. Just, it's a little bit thinner. Not much, but I find being able to combine oils, I really like the output of it. You get some of the flavor from one, some of the texture from another. We just want to get that nice and hot. Oh, and Turtle, see my socks tonight?
They're cracking.
Yeah, they're cracking. See, we got the little eyeball here, so my foot is the kraken, and we got the the tentacles coming up, and there's a little ship up here that's gonna fight it, and then a nice blue sky. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add in our mushrooms. A nice wooden spoon to kind of break them up just a little bit. Thank you. These, while it looks kind of like a lot right now, it'll cook down quite a bit.
Yeah, have you seen the soda pop tarts? Or is it a crush pop tart? Orange crush pop tart?
No, I need to eat this.
Orange crush and the
Okay, yeah, I need the Orange Crush one. I'm the huge fan of Orange Crush. I'm gonna salt things a little bit as we go, plus it'll help open up these mushrooms a bit. I don't want to use too much because we've got some salt in the dressing.
There's our soy sauce and the salt already.
So
yeah, I'm trying to like beat his sock game with my shoe game because I'm jealous. So I have some Reebok pumps on tonight. I still think you will beat my sock game because you have so many socks.
Yeah.
I don't want to have as many shoes as you have socks. I think that looks pretty good, but you can put it in there.
I want a few more minutes on it. Just, I want the crust to get a little bit more golden. And again, you know, when we're working with a wok, the food is naturally going to kind of combine into the middle here, and this area right here is going to not cook as quickly because it's going to be a little bit colder. So we want to kind of push this out to the sides to get more of the surface area of the pan. There's dog trying to get in the trash, smelling stuff.
She finished her hair. I like my shoes. We both do.
Yeah, we both
kind
do.
Of a competition.
Yeah.
Oh, now see, now he's gonna go compete and try to find shoes that beat mine. I think he's probably gonna go get the shoes that we bought at the same time. No, you're gonna find a better one? Oh, he brings a whole bunch.
Okay.
Not just one pair.
So to compete with her pumps, I got my pumps. This way.
I only got one pair of feet.
So we got these retro brown and cream pumps. These are my new addition. I got some 1993 old school Air Maxes. They're the cork version.
I also have Air Maxes that I can go.
We got the elephant print. I don't even know what these are, but these are my crazy bright Adidas. And then these are my favorite shoes.
Yeah, the Agassiz.
Yeah, these are the, I think, 1991 Agassiz. The pink and black cutaway. That's just a small sample of my shoe collection. Okay. In goes the celery.
Yeah, Kimbo, you stay out of his way.
Thank you.
Oh, and of course.
Jane likes yours better anyway.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. I remember the Grippies. Shoe fly pie? We could do that.
Oh,
Shoe fly pie?
shoe fly pie is good.
Yeah, we both are a fan of that. We could definitely do that.
We have one more frozen pie crust.
Just check the pie, but somebody decided to hang out right in front of the oven.
Yeah.
Just laying down at my feet. So I'm actually gonna, I'm not sure if you can see in here, but there's actually quite a bit of extra liquid in here. I want to drain some of that out, especially since we're going to be adding the, I'm just going to pour it into this thing. Thank you. Because we're adding in that sauce and we want the stuff to get kind of nice and caramelized, we want to make sure that it's not overly liquidy because it'll turn more into almost like a stew. And we want it to get nice and
Crispy. Yeah. Yeah, we want it to almost caramelize, which especially with the honey that we added into the sauce and the peanut butter too, it will help do that. We would overcook the vegetables if we were to keep cooking them. So he just basically held the pan and pushed back the vegetables over the sink to drain some of that liquid. And now that will help the vegetables cook down without getting overcooked. It'll retain some of that texture, which is basically like browning meat if you were cooking a burger or some ground meat in the pan. You get that crispy brown texture.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you move a little bit to that? All right. Well, I think our pie is done. It's got a nice golden brown crust to it. Just put it here. Golden brown crust, nice even top. It feels a little firm to the touch without being like, basically when you jiggle it, see how it moves around just a little bit? That's what you're looking for. If it like sloshes around a lot still, it needs more time. It's too liquidy. But you don't want to cook it to the point where it's rock solid because it's going to continue to set as we let it hang out here. Oh, thanks for that follow, Ravenhawks. I appreciate it.
Well, like real boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, you want them to be like real boobs, not like fake boobs. So I'm just going to put it on a trivet over here to let it hang out because there's not really any space on the stove right now.
And the top of it looks a lot like what I would say pecan, he would say pecan.
Pecan.
Pie, where it has like a crackly texture. I come from California, he comes from North Carolina, so
yeah.
I say pecan, you say pecan. Yeah, you should have a little bit of jiggle. I got some jiggle.
Welcome back, Wanda.
See, be nice.
Wanda, you missed it. We were on the other side of the kitchen with the bright light, and somebody was saying how it was so nice having all that light behind us. And I had to say that you did not agree with that you were very disappointed with how much light was behind us.
You can see how much though the mushrooms have cooked down.
Yeah, if you remember when we first started this, we can flatten it out some. This pan was, over 50% full just by with those raw mushrooms. We've even got the celery in here now too, and it's still cooked down quite a bit. That was all that extra moisture that I got rid of from the pan. All those mushrooms sweat out a lot of extra moisture that they had. They're very spongy creatures. They're a fungus, so they withhold a lot of moisture in them, and so as we cooked that out, it was pooling in the bottom, and I wanted to get rid of that so we get some nice caramelization on this. Excuse me. And we're gonna want that also for the noodles. Like if it's too soupy, they'll just be kind of mushy. I want them to have some nice crisp to them.
One with the moisture that's cooked out, we'll do the same with ground meats. Like often when you purchase, especially like pre-packaged ground beef or ground poultry, it will tell you how much moisture content is in there. Aside from the fat content, it will often tell you how much moisture content is in there. And it's often between like 20 and 30%. And then when you add on the fat content, you have to consider how much of that is going to cook out as well. So that is going to cook down, and when you see the bulk of the amount of ground meat, that's going to cook out a lot too. So, and again, we spent maybe at most $4 on this much, amount of mushrooms. If you were going to buy, that much beef or turkey, you'd be spending more.
So we're using a pre-made noodle. I really do like to make my own noodles, but I'm lazy and didn't feel like doing that tonight. So this is actually a rice noodle. It's a pad thai style noodle, so it's kind of long and flat, kind of like a mini fettuccine, kind of in between like a fettuccine and a spaghetti. It doesn't have the roundness as a spaghetti. And it's a rice noodle, so it is gluten-free. It's made with rice flour. So yeah, it's actually something that's a really nice alternative to a traditional flour noodle.
So while he's cooking that, I'm going to start getting our vegetable stock together. So some of you have seen our stock bag. This is just a Ziploc bag that we keep scraps in. So we have some scraps of bell peppers, onions, some carrots, lemon. We have some fennel in here. We already have a little bit of ginger in here, but I'm going to add some more that we have from tonight. We have a little bit of celery, but we both like a lot of celery and carrot. So we used the leftover celery that we had from tonight, and we got a couple extra carrots. I also have 1 head of garlic that I've sliced in half. So I'm going to add all of that to our slow cooker right now, and I'll show you that once I've poured everything in there. We can make it in a second.
So I added in the green onions as well. I'm just kind of letting them sit on top for now. I don't want them to burn, but I want to start to get them incorporated into our stir fry. So as you can see, we're actually starting to get some nice color on the mushrooms as well. Again, this comes from removing that extra liquid. It's now kind of getting a nice crispiness to it. Oh yeah, dog is waiting for dropping of anything. She is, yeah. Look into your soul.
Alright, so I filled up our slow cooker with all of those scraps. Again, celery, onions, some shallots, fennel, bell peppers, lemons, a couple oranges, some ginger, just kind of any vegetable scraps that we have accumulated over time. I let that bag of stuff that had been in the freezer sit in the fridge for a couple hours just to thaw out a little bit. And then just because we wanted some extra carrot and celery flavor, we used a little bit of additional scraps tonight. But if we didn't have that, that would be fine. I'm now going to cover this with as much water as possible, and I'll kind of count that out as I do it. So I'll let you know how much I'm able to get in there. I expect it's going to be somewhere between about 6 and 8 cups of water, but maybe even about up to 10. So I'll let you know when I get there.
What do you need?
The measuring cup, the big one.
Big one?
Yeah. Sorry, we need the measuring cup.
Well, I mean, if you know how to bake your own bread, I highly recommend doing that. Baking is a kind of, intense process. You have to follow recipes a little bit more than traditional cooking. But I do firmly believe that anything that is homemade does really taste that much better. And it is a fraction of the cost of buying a loaf of bread. I mean, if you have bread flour, all-purpose flour, there's lots of different flours that you can use to make your bread with. Potentially some eggs if you're making somewhat of like a brioche or a challah bread. Some, either quick activated dry yeast. There's lots of different kinds of yeast you can use, and some water. I mean, it's a very basic thing. Some salt maybe. It's just a matter of if you're willing to put in some of that, the love and the energy that it takes. It kind of makes a mess. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but the end product, if you're someone who really likes to cook and to bake, absolutely, make your own bread. It's hands down a great thing to do. If you are going to be buying bread from a store, I personally do recommend trying to find a local bakery. What's that?
We'll be back today.
Yeah. Or not just buying a major chain brand. So this is a local bread. We live in Colorado, and this is made in Denver, Colorado. All natural, no preservatives. It's actually a marble rye. Yeah, sourdough is great. I mean, sourdough is really awesome because you can have a starter for that goes from recipe to recipe. So yeah, I mean, if you can, make your bread by all means. But yeah, this is a marble rye, so it's got a really nice marble pattern to it. Just something that's a little bit more work than I would really want to do right now. I've made my own bread many of times. I actually really enjoy making baguettes.
You get so much of a more natural product, a lot fewer preservatives when you're buying a product like this, or if you're making your own. There's also a series I mentioned, I think, on here once before. That's on Netflix that I would really recommend, by Michael Pollan. And he has written some books as well, but he talks about bread in one of the episodes of the series. And with handmade bread, whether you make it your own or you buy from an artisan like this, one of the theories is that as it's rising and the yeast is kind of producing and breaking down some of the proteins, if you have, I don't think necessarily people who have true celiac disease, but for someone who has an intolerance or a sensitivity to gluten, you might have a better reaction to eating a more natural bread because some of those proteins are getting broken down in the process of making the bread. Again, I don't have that sensitivity, so I can't say from personal experience. But the episode was very interesting as far as the science behind it and the philosophy behind it. So I would recommend that series. Just it's interesting to see, just kind of going back to getting into making your own food and getting back to more basic ingredients. But that episode in particular was interesting to me as far as that concept. So they talk about sourdough in particular as well. So it's something I would recommend if you're interested in that. So I got a little bit of 12 cups actually of water in our slow cooker, and I'm going to cover it now, and we're going to cook it for about 8 to 12 hours to get all of the nutrients and flavor out of those vegetables. Again, if you were using roasted meat bones, you would just add those in with the vegetables and cook for about the same time as well. I haven't added any salt. You would do that after it has cooked down. We'll post some pictures of what we do after the cooking process because you do have to strain it. And if you were putting meat in it, you have to strain the fat, so we'll explain what you would do with that as well. With the vegetables, we won't really have to do that process. But we'll show you what you would do with that after the cooking process is done.
So our noodles are done. They're just par cooked. And I'm just going to go ahead and add them right on in. And they'll finish cooking in here. I'm transferring them in this fashion because I really don't want to incorporate any of that water that they were in. Even though I strained it, it's still in here.
Yeah, there's still some water in it.
And then we're going to hit it with that sauce that we made. And we want to let this cook for a couple of minutes because it has that raw garlic and the ginger and the sambal. That all has really great flavors that are going to continue to come out as we cook it. And instantly it smells very different. just trying to break up, make sure that sauce gets fully incorporated. You know, the noodles are a very white color because they come from a rice flour. Hey, what's up, Sal? So I'm just letting it kind of sit and get some nice char on the noodles that are on the surface of the pan right now. Then give it a flip, do the same, just continue to rotate it a little bit. I don't want to cook it too much because the noodles will become a little bit gummy even within the process of getting some caramelization on them. Hey, Lewis. There's a beep? Oh, it was Mrs. Biscotti setting the crock pot. Yeah, the slow cooker. Yeah, you want to try and get nice clean flips on it like that because you don't want to break up to have like the same area continue to get more cooking. So then I just take my tongs and kind of break it up a little bit this way, but it's got a whole new surface that is on the bottom now.
Yeah, we're using the crock pot, the vegetable stock. It's already in there. I set it for 12 hours on low. So.
Bye, Nick. Have a good shift at work.
I'll probably stir it around a few times before we go to bed tonight, just to make sure nothing's getting too charred. But other than that, it's pretty much.
So at this stage, we're essentially done. I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer because I really like a nice char on the noodle. But you could finish at this point. The sauce is kind of cooked through. I can smell the garlic and the ginger are becoming cooked. They no longer have that raw smell to them. Everything is just kind of hanging out, doing its dance. I like to let it go a little bit longer. Be careful not to burn it, obviously. But I do want to get some additional char, some caramelization right on those noodles. Shut up, Mark. I want my cocktail with my meal. Plus, it'll take me like 4 hours to finish that drink. Okay, we're just going to do this a few more times. I'm not sure if you can see in the smaller camera, but we're starting to get some nice color on the noodles here. Starting to get some nice golden brown to it. Even almost a reddish color from the sambal and that sauce that we added in. Hit exclamation point menu, Sal, and you can see. As a mod in my stream, you should at least know how to use these commands. So yeah, to describe it a little bit more, this is a kind of take on Dan Dan noodles. It's got kind of a spicy peanut, a little bit of vinegar, soy sauce, some ginger, some garlic. We used some mushrooms, some celery, and some green onions. You could absolutely substitute in some meat for the mushrooms or add it to it even. We have a, hold on, I'll get it. Where's the, that's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
Where's the, no, there.
Hang on.
We got a coconut pie that we made. And see, it's firmed up quite a bit just by hanging out with us. As that comes down to room temperature, it'll solidify a little bit more.
Yeah, we can't do it quite yet.
There. So again, I'm not sure if you can really see in the smaller camera, but we're really starting to get some color on the noodles now. Maybe I can get it up here. Just a nice golden brown.
It smells so good in here too. You can really smell the ginger and the garlic and the like saltiness from the peanut and the soy sauce. Very satisfying. Like even though we don't have any meat in here, it really gets that like meaty smell from everything. Like that. I don't know what anything other than meaty smell, but like it has a very similar satisfying scent. Teddy.
Yes. Yeah, that is.
Use different noodles, like if you like spaghetti and that's what you wanted to use, or fine, you could definitely do that.
You can use like a soba noodle, an udon noodle, lots of different, Asian noodles could be replaced with this pad thai noodle that we're using.
We could have added some broccoli or something too if you wanted to get some extra greens in here. Oh, we have the spinach.
Oh shit, yeah, we have spinach. Oh, thanks for that follow, Pascal Roller. I appreciate it.
So we're adding some baby spinach, which has already been washed. It is like nice, small, tender leaves. You wanted some greens to this. But again, if you wanted to add broccoli or asparagus or green beans or snow peas, that would be fine. Spinach is just nice because it wilts really quickly. We also will use it in a lot of different things. We add it to eggs pretty frequently. Just eating it raw like this. It's nice.
You want it?
Close that. But this will cook down really quickly in the noodles. The heat alone just kind of breaks it down. So,
drop it.
You can do that too.
Yeah.
It will cook down really quickly by the heat alone. We could have even just put it in the bowl and put it on top. So again, that's one of the things we do too when we do the pantry stream. One of the things we can talk about is as we're thinking of things we're going to cook through the week, we try to incorporate ingredients that we know we're going to use in a few different recipes. We do both like a lot of similar ingredients and we'll reuse things. I mean, you've seen us use onions and garlic and bell peppers and spinach and stuff a lot, but there's a reason for that. I mean, it cuts down on your food costs. Yeah, no, spinach, like, this is 5 ounces of spinach, and, like, it took up this whole thing. We just used about half of that. So, but it's good for
you. Wait. It shrinks to the size of your palm? Are you trying to tell me this is how big your palm is?
Maybe she works at like the small world.
Yes. Got them tiny ass hands, Panther.
I tried to take piano lessons when I was a kid and I couldn't reach an octave, so I had to stop. So maybe we have a similar affliction.
Yeah, the oven's off, but just hopping this. So yeah, that really wraps up tonight's stream. If you would be so kind, I was just looking online and I see a good friend, A2D Blackout, is playing, I think he's playing some Smite? Actually didn't even see. Yeah, he's playing some Smite. He used to be a streamer that took a break for a long time and he's just getting back into it now. But let's go raid him. Shit, what did you say? It was, I liked how, what was it, D-Rec? Was it like, fridge raid, raid the fridge? I don't remember. Kitchen raid. Come up with a good raid command for me. What?
I'm just laughing at this whole conversation.
Oh yeah, no, they're amazing. I love everyone in here.
4 whole spinaches.
We're gonna take that off the heat. Good night. ODB fridge raid. So yeah, if we can say ODB fridge raid, we're gonna go raid the friend.
Kimbo's very excited by this. She's
Yes. And anyone that is new, thank you for following. If you haven't done so yet, please feel free to hit that follow button. Really appreciate it. And we'll be back hopefully soon. Stay tuned to Twitter. We'll be posting on there. But yeah.
We'll post pictures of all the final products.
Indeed. And we need to get better about updating all the recipes and whatnot. Bye, everybody.